Eiichiro Oda, or some may call him the god of anime and manga, is on a legendary run. The amount of lore in these last 4 chapters blows Dressrosa, Punk Hazard, and possibly even Whole Cake Island out of the park, the water, whatever you want to call it, okay? So if you have an attention span of more than 30 seconds, make sure to stay until the end of the video, because I will unveil a lot of things about these chapters alone. So stay tuned and keep on with me with the video. Let's get into it, guys. First of all, we get a revelation that it's actually Who's Who that has that base. Wow, shocking, guys, right? I mean, the skull of the base just looks like his skull. That's what I meant to say. The base looks exactly like his skull. But what we want to know is, where is this actually going? Like, okay, Who's Who? I mean, he's kind of interesting because he's the first one to reveal lore about the sun god. And it's kind of relevant because there's a lot of lore being revealed about the sun god in these chapters. But where are we going with this cover story? Who knows? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Come on, guys. Now, the chapter start off with Loki huffing and wheezing, okay, down bad. He's very hurt, having got his ass handed to him by Gunko. Of course, he's tied up, he can't fight, he can't defend himself only with observation haki. So yeah, he's getting really hurt. As the 2 holy knights walk away, Loki figures out that one of them, which is Shamrock, has a strong resemblance to Shanks, just off their looks. Now, we know that Loki is blindfolded, so the only way for him to know whether or not this guy resembles Shanks is if he can see through the blindfold. There is no other way. And you might think, oh, what are you talking about, Haki Review? Like, he has observation haki, he has haki, like advanced observation as well. Guys, come on, you don't read the story? Observation haki has nothing to do with sight, guys, okay? Remember Dressrosa, please. Let me explain. Fujitora has observation haki. We already know this, like this is clearly stated, but I would assume that he has advanced observation haki. Like maybe he could see into the future or something. That still does not make him see. I mean, he's an admiral. Of course he's gonna have the most best types of haki and everything, but he's not gonna be able to bring his eyes back. That's why he tells Luffy something like, if only I could see your smile. The Holy Knights, of course, disgusted by the fact that Loki realized such a thing. And yeah, of course it makes sense, because if you think of it a little deeper, Shamrock is the leader of the Holy Knights. It's stated in the last chapter. Plus, he is a world noble unlike Gunka. Why would he want to associate himself with a filthy pirate of the underworld? Or you may call it the Sea World. That would be a disgrace for him. Or so I thought initially. Surprisingly, Shamrock was pretty calm when hearing the name Shanks. He said that Shanks is his estranged younger brother. That he had been to the Holy Land once before, but preferred to stay in the underworld, the Blue Sea. Of course, not to get it confused with Elbaf's underworld. Of course, I would assume that the Vigilant family values their bloodline and their racist type of shit, and it wouldn't hurt to say that they maybe asked Shanks to come back to the Holy Land, but he told them to fuck off basically. In other sense, Shanks told them probably that his crew is his actual family and they go wherever he goes. So of course he got the no-no from Papa Garling, cause you know, these humans are such filth. They are a disgrace to this world. They can't be accepted. But you, on the other hand, my son, you are of royal blood. So basically, Shanks tells him to fuck off and he goes back to the Blue Sea. That's just a hypothetical scenario, but I could really see that happening in a flashback of Shanks going back to the Holy Land, you know? By the way, if you made it this far, hit like and subscribe and let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. So that encounterment probably happened after Shanks captured Loki. And that's when the news broke out and Papa Garling was like, oh no, my long lost son has become a vicious criminal. We ought to bring him back to his original heritage, to his original blood, yeah. I don't know. I really don't know why he sounds so British in my head, okay? Or Scottish or whatever. No, that was probably the worst accent you ever heard in your life. Give me some credit for that at least. Loki, out of angriness and frustration, threatens Shamrock. Once he gets off these chains, he's gonna be out for blood and he's gonna hunt him down. And Shamrock is like, wait. 1 second ago, I was going away, okay? My comrade gave you the slapping. Now, how the f do you dare to threaten me personally? I'm gonna make it a living hell for you. Gonko is immediately like, oh master, please don't let him get to you. Shamrock's like, no, of course, I won't do anything. I'll just whip out my dog sword and beat his ass. Kill him almost. Dog sword, Severius sword, Severius. What the heck is that incredible sword? Okay, I haven't liked the fact that swords and other objects can eat the devil fruit. I mean, that doesn't make any sense to me. When it's explained, it actually makes sense, of course, but it's kind of a weird thing, you know? But this right here is the coolest out of all of them. I mean, did you see, like, these dogs that came out of the swords, or the swords came out of... Bro, I can't even speak. I'm just a total fan right now, okay? I can't even speak. But these swords that came out of the dog's mouth, bro, and the sword can even fly on its own. Like, he sent it flying towards Loki when he was a mile away. Like, bro, what on earth is that power? And, okay, where do we put this guy on the power scaling, okay? Does he defeat Mihawk? I think he defeats Mihawk, guys. Does he? We'll have to see. I think maybe he will clash with Zoro, and then we will probably see. Because if Zoro can take the leader of the Holy Knights out, that would be so bad, bro. That would be real bad. But I don't think Shamrock is a real swordsman. I think he has other abilities. That's why he probably is going to end up fighting Luffy. But you know, Ichiro Oda, he likes to make you think you're going a certain direction and boom, he slams you down, you go up, down, whoa, roller coaster. You have no idea where you're going, okay? That's just One Piece. But on a real, guys, the Cerberus fruit is actually incredible. Now, we don't even know if it's an actual devil fruit. That's a wild thing here, you know? It's not officially like confirmed in the Oda box, oh, Cerberus dog fruit or whatever. No, none of that. Just shows the actual power of it, which is kind of interesting, which is kind of similar to the power of the Gorosei we saw back at Egghead. They were just introduced with these types of powers, but there were no devil fruit reveal. So that's an interesting one right there. Oh yeah, and Shamrock did all of that while he was flying on this Gunko made Deidara flying a thingy. Like, what the heck is that? It really reminded me of Deidara. I don't know why. Just like that airplane thingy that they were flying on really reminded me of Deidara. And he just tells his sword like, you go fly and you go stab this guy right here because he's a giant. You can hit your target pretty easily, dog. So yeah, woof, I will feed you later, okay? Yeah, just go. Just like that. Now, it seems as though they will be calling upon another Holy Knight. Who is that? We have no idea. Probably is not Garling, because Garling is no longer a Holy Knight. He's actually a Gorosei. They took him up higher in the ladder last arc, so it's probably gonna be a character that we have no idea about. And this Shamrock guy, he's such a filthy idiot dick, okay? Why? Because he tells them to go after the warrior's children first. Like, I mean, show at least some honor, some dignity, some good in you. I mean, you're Shanks' brother. Like, how can a man be so bright and so, like, caring about his comrades and everything, and his brother is a piece of shit? Like, he wants to kill children, bro. I mean, or take them as hostage. Kind of familiar to the real world, isn't it? Well, guys, we don't know who this Shamrock guy is calling upon. Another Holy Knight for sure, but who? We have no idea. One thing is for certain. Loki definitely took a lot of damage. The sword not only stabbed through him, but the dogs kept feeding on his flesh. Now, again, is Loki dead? Probably not. This is One Piece. It's not easy to kill off characters for Oda, especially just as he introduced them in this arc. But the thing I really wanted to know is, when does this attack end? I mean, I don't assume that the sword will just magically come back to Shamrock's hand. Will he go back to pick it up? Or when does the attack finish? I mean, is it finished when the dogs had enough of eating Loki? Or when is the attack finished? I really don't know that. Is it like some kind of black flame Amaterasu from Naruto? You know, the flames that burn until it kills everything? You don't know. You never know. You never know with One Piece. And the big fact right here is that Loki seemed really scared about these things. I mean, really frightened. I think he almost shit himself. Like, for real, he's like, don't do this. Like, when have we seen this guy kind of having a, like, cowardly moment? We haven't seen that yet. So, this is the first time, but it is actually incredible. Does that mean this attack is that strong? Does that mean that Shanks' sword could body Loki on its own? I have my doubts about that. He's chained up, you know, he can't really defend himself. So we scratch that for the time being. I mean, I've heard all types of stuff, all types of speculation. I told you, I am late to this review, so I told you I have heard a lot, okay? And people are saying that Loki's a scrub, that Shanks' sword could body him, that he is not strong whatsoever. And please, these dumb motherfuckers, why the hell would Shamrock and Gunko try to recruit this guy to them if he's a weakling? Tell me, please. I really want to know. Tell me, please, okay? Tell me. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting, guys. Now that we got that out of the way, do you think that we're gonna get some small stuff, like, I don't know, some peaceful stuff and the chapter ends? No! Oda is here to make a statement. Everybody that has been talking crap about One Piece in the last few years, they're gonna shut the f*** up, okay? Oda is here and he is the GOAT of manga. Cut back to their Orest castle and Luffy is just screaming out of anger or disgustness, or is that even a word? I don't know. But he's just screaming, liar, liar, to these guards, like Shanks would never do such a thing for no good reason. He would never commit such violence if you guys didn't try to hurt him. Now, I have nothing against these giants, of course. I don't want to call them dumb or anything. Shamrock is a little guy. It's kind of hard to see a little guy when you're that big, I guess, and that's why they didn't realize, they didn't see the scar, they did not focus on the arms, you know? They just like saw somebody red hair and kind of had the shapes that Shanks has, and they immediately thought it was Shanks. And surprisingly, Luffy hits the nail on its head and tells them this might be a guy that looks exactly like Shanks. I'm like, Luffy, when it comes to Shanks, you really activate your head. Joking aside, because we really know that Luffy can use his head, and I can prove that in another video as well. If you want it, let me know in the comments. Luffy really hates it when somebody is talking wrongfully about his friends or comrades. And once such a thing is done, Luffy cannot for the life of him believe that this is actually possible. Shanks can never do such an awful thing. Cause you know, Luffy looks up to him, for God's sake. He admires him. He's inspired by him. This is why it's such a big deal for Luffy. He trusts Shanks as much as he trusts the Straw Hats. So he suspects him of having a brother. He never asked him about his family. And when meeting the Dark King, Luffy thought that Rayleigh and Roger was his only family. And then, boom, we get the silhouette of the man himself, okay? And you guys that is caught up to date with the manga know exactly who I'm talking about, but we'll get into it later in the video. Just stay tuned. Let me see your attention span, guys. You will never believe, new fans, new watchers, or whatever, the 2, 3, 4 of you out there, you will never believe that I called this. You just go ahead and watch my video. I can leave a link in the description down below and you will know that I called this from the start. Not actually from the start, but I called this from last arc. Now, I don't know if I called everything because everything has not been revealed yet, but I'm surely on the path to knowing some stuff about this. After all of what's happened in this chapter 1138, this part is the most interesting by far. We cut to Frankie and Ripley joking about selling parts of the tree and that it would make a fortune. And Frankie telling her that he got scolded just when he talked about this with Saul. The tree is their valuable treasure. The tree is like diamonds for them. Wanna know my theory? Or maybe it's not my theory. I mean, there's a lot of One Piece fans, but I say my theory because, you know, I haven't seen anybody talk about this. But I think that the only way to build Pluton is by using the Adam wood. Shortly after, Frankie spots a mural on the tree. They're children's drawings from the ancient past. They're estimated to have been drawn between 8 and 900 years ago. So basically in the Void Century. This is history and my thought is immediately went like, where the heck is Robin? Bring Robin here, Frankie, please. Now, Frankie, he's my dude, he's my brother, he thinks exactly like me. He's like, oh, I gotta show Robin this, like, what the heck is going on? I gotta show her this, I gotta tell her what's going on here. Okay, I gotta let her know so she can explain everything to us. Frankie is legit terrified and astonished by these drawings. By how even if they are all in Elbaf, they don't all look like giants. Now Ripley says something very interesting. She said, in history, we're familiar with, and then she stopped and then she goes on to tell Frankie, there were sometimes war between the races, but never a cultural exchange. Maybe that simply means that this was nothing more than just a child's dream. Bro, even me saying that, I'm getting chills, okay? Ripley, I'm getting the feeling that she knows more than what she's telling. We have to stay tuned and find out. Now, we know from this chapter that all the various myths and legends in Elbaf are written in this ancient text Harley, and there's a lot of different interpretations of it. But Saul says that it means that the sun god that the people of Elbaf believe in has a different personality depending on who is telling the story. The story is split up in 3 chapters, and it is said that the 3rd chapter describes the world that we live in right now. As there are a lot of infinite interpretations of the sun god as stated in this chapter, the only common thing between them is the sun. As it says in the chapter, there are a lot of different interpretations of Nika in the world of One Piece. But the only thing that is similar between them is the bloody dance, bro. Bam 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 bam. Bam 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 bam. Bam 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 bam. And Saul does the hilarious Nika dance. Bam 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 bam. Saul is officially my G. But then we cut to the last page of this amazing chapter. One of the best, yeah, I'm telling you, one of the best pages in all of One Piece. Frankie just standing there in awe of this giant mural, and we get the historic text. We can literally see. I mean, the first time I even saw it, I had so many thoughts going through my brain. The Kuja pirates, the Ark Maxim, the Sun God, Loki, the samurai and the ninjas, Shirahoshi, the Mother Flame. I could go on and on and on. And honestly, this mural deserves a video in it of its own. It would take me hours. Like, I could literally talk about this mural for hours. But one thing is for sure. We see the Holy Knights and we see Emu. Emu is the craziest thing on this Muriel because he's basically bigger and stronger than everybody else. And what is he powered by? The Mother Flame. Overall, this chapter 1138 is one of the best chapters ever in One Piece. And I know I've said that to a couple of them, but I mean, god damn, this much lore in one single chapter. Like Oda, he's whipping it, he's cooking stove, he's cooking curry, he's cooking, I don't know what he's cooking, but something really smells good in the kitchen. But we ain't even done, cause we got one more chapter to cover. Let's go! Chapter 1138 starts off, of course, with a cover page of Who's Who seemingly capturing two traders. Now, we don't know who the traders are or why they betrayed Who's Who. Did they somehow leak information to the Samurai and Pirate Alliance during the Onigashima War? Who knows? So we start off this one in the Orist Castle and Zoro clearly warning them that the sun is setting. Like, this dude, he is afraid of the dark. Clearly know that when the dark comes, Zoro's like, what's up? Jokes aside, I don't know why he's warning them about this. Like, do you think that everybody would get lost if it's dark? I mean, it's probably just you, Zoro. You're the one getting lost all the time, even if it's sunny outside. Like, don't try to blame it on the dark, okay, bro? They have been searching and searching this entire castle and they haven't found the key. Rodo suspects that Ja Rule is the only one that knows where the key is. But of course, why would he tell that to the Straw Hats? So they could go and free Loki? Loki, this person portrayed as the most evil and the most dangerous. Why would you do such a thing? If you know where the key is, would you keep it a secret or not? Let me know in the comments below. They keep exploring for a little bit longer and then Nami finds out this giant room with a red carpet basically. Sounds familiar? Of course it does. It sounds exactly like the place that Emu lives in. The throne atop of Marie Joie. I mean, it even looks similar. And then they spot the magic circle that belongs to the Holy Knights. Luffy sees it but doesn't remember where he have seen it before. I mean, come on, Luffy. When was Egghead? Like 3, 4, 5 days ago? How could you not remember that? You clearly saw the Gorosei being summoned from these circles and now you suddenly forgot? Come on, bro. They start speculating where that circle is from, where it came from, how it came to be. And then Rodo remembers that he had seen it in a certain magic book. He says that it's a ritual to summon demons. And you know, demons, devils, magic, it kind of goes hand in hand. I'm telling you, if you go down and watch my previous videos, maybe not in this platform, but last year on my TikTok, you will know my theories about this. I reviewed this longer on the other platform in a short form content, so you can go ahead and check it out. But I know that I told you that the Gorosei are not devil fruit users, but they are devils themselves. So yeah, just like I said, devils, demons, magic, it kinda sounds all the same. Then they hear somebody shouting, "Oi, Mugiwara!" Rodo is being the coward of the group, trying to pick them up and run away as fast as possible when he gets basically shot off with a giant axe. Kind of incredible. I thought it was a giant throwing that axe. And Rodo himself thought the demons were there to eat him. The voice says, "I've been wanting to meet you for a long time, Straw Hat Luffy." There is someone on the throne, Luffy says. An old man with a killer design and unironically a straw hat. Your son is his name in Elbaf, but we all know it is the man himself, the left hand of the pirate king, Scopper Gaban. I'm really happy that my theory came true. Not all of it, of course, not all of it has been confirmed, but some parts have been confirmed right now. It makes me really happy. Even if I get something wrong, I'm still happy to discover new stuff about this series. But I really hope that Scopper will be the one to tell the last part of the God Valley story. The second part that were cut off from the Kuma flashback. He's like, oh wow, I'm actually impressed that you took down Kaido. I actually wanted to go to Wano country but couldn't, but now thanks to you I can. And I'm like, old man, what the hell, bro? Like, you could have gone there and visited earlier. We could have gotten your help. But you know, that goes to show how powerful Kaido was. Probably if he's alive, he's still that powerful. Even Scopper did not want anything to do with him. Then Rodo basically reveals that he is the unofficial husband of Ripley, which also makes him Column's dad. Now, I still don't know what that is. Like, is it Column? Is it Column? Just please let me know. You know, and it's such a Luffy thing to call him that big little guy. And Nami is thinking exactly like me, in complete astonishment of how a giant could hit it off with such a puny human. Like, I mean, Scopper, what the heck are you packing down there, bro? Like, for a man of your age, god damn, you packing heat. Scopper says historically that many mixed races have existed. Buccaneers we know about because of Kuma and last arc, and long-limbed people we know about because of Apu and Long Ring Long Land. But he also mentions two more, and I'm pretty sure we never heard about these two. Wutans and Dosundaras. If you have any theory on them, let me know in the comments below. Who are they? Like, Oda, please tell me more about this. If Oda is watching this video, leave a No, I'm kidding. Now, remember that the guys have no real idea who this character is. Like, who's this old man? But Luffy being Luffy compares him to Sanji. Makes so much sense. Like, he's talking about love. Sanji's always about love. So, kind of makes sense there. And then Luffy tells him like, oh man, do you know where the key to Loki's chains are? Scopper's like, whoa, hold on a second. Hold on. Why would you want to free him up? Like, why? But this is very interesting to me because I love it. Listen up. Personally, I love it when other people cause trouble. Because it's not me, you know? It's just not me. I love it. I love to watch trouble, you know? Just gossip and everything. Oh, watch it, hear it. But not, don't want to be involved, okay? To me, that is hilarious. I love his personality already. He tells Nami that secrets are meant to be spread and rules are meant to be broken. At least sometimes. Then you feel the change of tension in the air. Scopper is about to ask a really deep question to Luffy to determine where he is standing. What kind of character he is. It's kind of like that moment in Sabaody when Rayleigh asked Luffy if he wanted to conquer the world and Luffy said, Nah man, I'm good. I just want to be free. Now, Scopper asks Luffy like, do you know what kind of man Loki is? What if all of this backfires? Of course, Luffy being Luffy is like, oh my, but to boss! I'm gonna kick his ass and lock him up again. Easy as that. Typical Luffy, you know? And here is where I know for a fact that Oda cares about power scaling and the people talking about power scale. Cause Scopper says right here that Shanks was the only one to capture Loki before. Now, if he's freed up, what will you do, Luffy? This is clearly, for me at least, this is clearly a comparison or some kind of measurement on where Luffy stands to Shanks. If Shanks and Luffy are on the same level, Luffy would be able to capture Loki again. So, the real question of that sentence is, Luffy, are you really on Shanks' level? Luffy and Zoro is like, oh man, who the fuck is this old guy? He talks too much. What a waste of time, man, as they walk past him like nothing. And he's like, oh, hold on. Peak comedy, by the way. And Nami's like, you idiots, he's trying to warn us, wait! Scopper then remembers how similar this situation was to when he was warning Roger about stuff and how they always bumped heads about this. I mean, an absolutely fantastical smile he has on his face. You could really tell that he really wants to cry tears of happiness. He tells Rodo to push the throne. Wow, a secret chamber? There's gotta be a lot of treasure, right, Nami? Right? Turns out Nami's dreams were debunked, were wiped out, and there is no treasure. But the key is right there. The key that they have been looking for all day is right there. Everything was stolen except for the key. Even the worst of the worst fears Loki and wouldn't want to free him. Then we cut briefly back to Oimo and Kashi telling somebody that the left hand of the Pirate King is there in the island. The legendary figure that is equal to Roger and Rayleigh, Scopper Gaban. They cut to his face and he's looking like a Chad and he is challenging Luffy to take the key from him. It's kind of like the bell game in Naruto, where Naruto and Sakura had to take the bells from Kakashi. Nah, but for real, I bet this old man wants to feel the thrill of fighting somebody on that level again. Somebody that reminds him of Roger. He really wants to know if Luffy is the real deal, basically. And probably, yeah, just like I said, he really wants the excitement again. I mean, he's kind of old, so 80 years old. Maybe not so old in One Piece terms, but old in real life. This match is of course gonna be very interesting, but unfortunately we were on break, so we have one more week to go until the scans and the official translation comes out. So next week we're gonna get 1140, probably gonna be legendary chapter as well. I have no doubts about that. I know I'm late, I've told you, I'm sorry, excuse me, but at least I can get these videos out eventually. I was on holiday, the holiday was sick, but now I'm finally back to doing what I love the most. Even if I get $1 billion, I would still do it for haki review, alright? Haki review all the way, okay? And I love One Piece. Let me know what you thought about this in the comments below. My thoughts, let me know, write to me. I want to have a conversation about this, you know? So as I said, let me know in the comments below what you thought. Make sure to check out the video in the description about my theory. And yeah, hopefully you guys stay tuned for next chapter review, and haki review is out. Peace!